Now here's your host, Carlton Lando, and co-host, Pearl Fontaine Butler.
A pleasant good morning to you, Dominica. Beautiful sunshine with a mix of rain this morning happening on the island. We are grateful for the rain. I know, there have been some reports that we will experience some very intense droughts this summer period, and so we're happy that the plants are getting some rain, and the livestock is also enjoying the rain. So we're really happy that we are blessed with good weather on Dominica. We have a packed show for you today.
Yes, we do. Good morning, Dominica. Good morning, everyone listening to us. So today we have a fascinating topic to discuss. It's osteopathy. And we have with us in studio osteopath Nona Lawrence. And we're very excited to have her here. But first, a recent article on Dominica News Online stated that there is an alleged tuberculosis concern here in Dominica. Carlton, what is tuberculosis?
Tuberculosis, it's interesting that tuberculosis has found itself back, but it's one of those diseases that we see happening. It's been around for many years. It is really a disease that is caused by a bacterium, and it attacks the lungs, and which is part of the respiratory tract, and can subsequently affect the kidneys, the brain, the spleen. It is treated if it is it is treatable with antibiotics. We normally give antibiotics for it. Some of the same symptoms. So if you coughing that may last 3 to 4 weeks. If you're coughing up blood, chest pain, you may have difficulty breathing. You may have unintentional weight loss, fatigue, fever, night sweats, chills. Those are symptoms of the tuberculosis. We do a test called the Mantoux test, which is an intradermal test with an injection. The doctor would normally, or the nurse could actually do that. It's under the skin. And within 72 hours, we would test again and see what the results are like. Again, it's a highly contagious, infectious bacterium. So it's, you can really catch it from person to person. If somebody has a cough and then you're around them, you can catch it that way.
But how can someone protect themselves against?
Well, basically, if you recognize that you have at least 4 of those symptoms, you really should seek a medical care and have an assessment done. Your doctor would do a chest x-ray. They would sound the lungs as well, and they would do that Mantoux test too. And once it comes back positive, then you would have to be hospitalized. Usually people are placed in isolation because of the contagious nature of this bacterium. If your family also would be coming to visit you, they would have to be properly screened and be protected, in visiting the client. So it's one of those diseases that definitely would have to involve medical assessment.
Before we go forward, I just wanted to tell our listeners to join our live streaming. You can go to Q95's website, www.q95da.com, and click on the YouTube video stream icon, TV icon, and you can also scroll lower down and view it on the site itself with the YouTube player.
Right, and you can also call us on air as well at 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. If you're calling from overseas, you can contact us on 305-432-9624. And I think we have a caller, Pearl, already.
Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Hey, morning,
Albert. How are you?
idea. But that this is again.
Tuberculosis. It has been around for quite a while.
Oh my God! It doesn't kill that one.
It can cause death if complications occur, but once it is diagnosed early and you're given the right medications, you'll be fine.
Wow! But I just listened to it. But what happened? The disease was starting to come, man.
Well, I mean, most of these diseases have been around. I mean, sometimes we get resurgence of them, but they've been around, and I think it's just a matter of us, we protecting ourselves, and being more concerned about our general health.
Well, I myself taking care of myself too, and very good.
Very good.
Good.
Very good.
Because
Albert.
I tell you already earlier on, it's a long years. I never get disease.
Right, but that still doesn't mean that you should not have your annual checkup, because you never know what's happening in the inside.
Right.
Okay?
Anyway, I soon told you again.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Take
thank
care.
you.
Yeah, take care.
Pearl, before we go to the second item, I just want to really, send greetings to some huge fans. We have a huge fan base. So we have the staff and management of Coral Reef in Calibishi, the
Very
huge
nice.
fan base of us. The staff at the social center as well. They listen to us all the time, and to all our fans,
Even to the bus drivers at the Granby bus stop, they
Right.
hang around downstairs. I want to send a greeting to them as well, because they're always listening.
Definitely.
And I do have a cousin who listens religiously every Wednesday. So Lucia, this is for you.
Definitely.
I
And
know she
all
has a
our
flu,
fans.
so I'm hoping that she
All
gets
our
better
fans. So,
soon.
so if you're listening, call a friend and tell a friend, WhatsApp a friend and tell them to switch on to QFM
Yeah,
right now.
because we have a really great topic today.
Very good.
And if you're interested in alternative medicine, this is the show to listen to.
Definitely.
Yeah. So just to talk about the tuberculosis story a little further, the article did state that there were some cases over the past few years.
Yes.
One or two every
One or
year,
two.
that kind of thing. So we really do need to be aware, and conscientious of,
Definitely.
of what we're doing, where we go, who's around us, who's coughing around us.
And not only that, too, Pearl, it only says that it's not every cough and cold symptom that warrants just running to the pharmacy to get a medication.
Right.
Particularly when the symptoms are prolonged, you definitely need to have assessment done. Chest x-rays should be done. You should have the lungs checked. You should have, sometimes they take mucus, sputum. You'd ask you to spit in a sterilizing container, send that to the lab. All of these things are some of the diagnostic procedures that are done to definitely find out bronchitis, tuberculosis, or even asthma, because a lot of those symptoms mimic each other, and you may want to get a definitive diagnosis. So not every cough symptom may warrant you just running and get a cough medicine, or somebody just telling you to go and drink some bush. You really need
Very
to
true,
have
very true.
assessment.
Okay, so the New York Times reported that a vaccine introduced a decade ago to combat the sexually transmitted virus that causes cervical cancer has already reduced the virus's prevalence in teenage girls by almost 2/3. And this is coming from federal researchers on Monday. And the article further states that about 14 million Americans become infected with HPV each year, and the vast majority will clear the virus, but some strains persist and can cause genital warts, as well as cervical cancer, anal, penile, and mouth and throat cancers. The American Cancer Society estimates that 4,120 women will die of cervical cancer this year alone. And we've discussed HPV and its hundreds of strains here on Health Vibes in the past. Carlton, what do you think of this news?
I mean, again, it definitely pronounces, it amplifies the need for more conscientious practices with our sexual health. And a lot of the times I prefer to say sexual health than to say, sex life, because it's an aspect of health that a lot of the times we don't place so much